Welcome to class. This class is a short 15-minute session that focuses on nurturing and strengthening the physical body. It's perfect for beginners looking to build a solid foundation in yoga and develop a deeper connection with their bodies. The mantra for this class is, I honor my body, I nourish my body, I am healthy. Be sure to use the QR code on the screen to download the class notes if you would like a deeper dive into the asanas. Let's begin. Starting in easy pose. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, twisting to your side. Inhale, lift your arms up and twisting to the other side. Make sure your abdominals are tight, looking behind you. Inhale, lifting the arms up. And we have a side angle stretch over to the side. Make sure your right hip stays down as your right arm raises and lifts. Shoulders down, looking up if that's comfortable. Inhale and exhale, reverse to the other side. Remembering to keep that left hip down, stretching that arm up and overhead. Breathe. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, forward fold with those legs still bent. Come down as far as it's comfortable for you. Inhale, lift the arms behind you. Clasp the hands if that's comfortable for you. And stretch your chest, lifting your head up. And breathe. Now reverse the direction of your legs. And inhale, arms come up. And we're going to forward fold again, noticing the difference that this feels on this side with the other leg in front. Breathe. Inhale and swim those arms back behind you, stretching out that chest. If you can't clasp your hands, you can keep your hands on the floor here and just stretch that chest open. Now coming into tabletop position, make sure your knees are right below your hips and your hands are right below your shoulders. Inhale, arching the back, looking up at the sky. Exhale, rounding the back. We're going to do a couple more cat-cows here. Inhale, looking up, and exhale, rounding that spine vertebrae by vertebrae. And one more time, inhale, really focusing on every aspect of your spine. Exhale, rounding the back. Now let's take the left leg out and the right arm out. This is a balancing table pose. You want to keep your abdominals in. Really think about stretching from toe to fingers. Big, deep stretch here. This helps with our balance. If you want, you can bend that left leg and swim your right arm back, grabbing the foot into a deeper stretch. And release. Now let's do the other side. Right leg, left arm. Big stretch. Make sure your toes are pointed down to the floor. Abdominals are tight. This is going to help with your balance. Breathe. And then the option to grab onto that foot for that tiger pose and stretch. It helps with your shoulder, your chest, your quads, and release back down to tabletop. Now round in the toes and let's come on up to downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the legs here, giving those legs a nice stretch. Now you don't have to keep your heels on the floor for downward dog, whatever's most comfortable for you. Try to think about your chest pressing into your legs here. Now lift that right leg up to the sky for three-legged dog. bend the knee and open the hip for a nice stretch, and get that leg rounded up forward to a low lunge position. Stretching out the front quad area of your left leg, your glutes. And now step it in a little bit and lift up into a crescent lunge. I like to straighten out that front leg and then bend it and open my arms out to a T. Now let's transition into warrior two. Make sure that the feet are aligned. You want that front heel right in the middle of the arch of your foot. And reach up to a reverse warrior pose. Big stretch for that side. And then swim it around to a side angle pose. The option here is to keep that elbow on the top thigh if you like. And then come on down to both hands on the floor. Take that back leg in a little bit for a modified pyramid pose. Here you can keep your front leg slightly bent, and you can also have your hands on the floor. You can also use a block here for your hands. And now come on forward to a standing split pose and release down to forward fold. Clasp your elbows and go ahead and wave your upper body side to side, stretching out that lower back, the hamstrings and the glutes. Abdominals are in. Release the hands and go ahead and roll it all the way up to a mountain pose. Arms come up and overhead. And we're going to swim it all the way back down. And come back down to a downward dog. We're going to do all of that sequencing on the other side. So this time, left leg lifts, bend that hip, knee, and open the hip. Take that leg forward into a low lunge. Come on up to your crescent lunge. And again, you can stretch that front leg, then rebend it. Open those arms to a goalpost T. Look up, stretching out that chest. And then come into warrior two. I like to look back behind me to make sure my arms are in line. And now you're going to reach forward and lift that arm up into a reverse warrior. Big stretch here for that side waist. And swim the arm around into your side angle pose. Big stretch here. Make sure your shoulders are down. Come on down, both hands to the floor. Bring that back leg in a little bit for pyramid. And again, if you would like to use blocks here for your hands, you can. Make sure that front leg is slightly bent to protect your knee. Now bend that front leg and lift forward into a standing split. And take both feet down so we're in forward fold now. Halfway lift. Forward fold. And swim those arms up to standing into mountain, arms overhead, and prayer position hands. Now let's start our balancing. Take that right leg up, and you can put your foot either above your knee, as I've done here. If you can't reach that high, you can keep your foot below your knee on your shin, or you can even keep your foot on the floor. Up to you. But do not put your foot on your knee. That's too much strain on your knee. Your hands could be in prayer position or they could be lifted. Your choice. Now we're going to come out of that tree pose and into a figure four, standing figure four. You're going to put that right ankle onto the left leg, upper thigh, and come on down as far as what's comfortable for you. This is going to be a nice stretch for your glutes. And come back to mountain pose. We'll do that on the other side now. Lift the left leg and into tree pose. Try to focus on something in front of you that's stationary, that's not moving. That helps with balance. And again, your arms could be in prayer the whole time. You can lift them out to the side. You can lift them overhead, whatever it is that you feel like doing. And we're going to come out of tree pose and into standing figure 4 by placing that left ankle onto the upper thigh of your right leg and coming down as far as is comfortable for you. This is an intense balance for your lower body and your core. It also works your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings, and your quads. Come on up and down to mountain with prayer pose. Now lift the arms up real high into a star pose, hands together, and we're going to come all the way down into frog. You don't have to keep your heels on the floor here. You can have your heels lifted if that's more comfortable for you. Or if this is a new pose for you, you might want to have your hands on the floor and maybe not bend your knees all the way down. Swim your arms back and come on down to a seated position. And we're going to go into a boat pose here. You can have your knees bent. You can have your legs straight. You can keep your hands on behind your knees here or even on the floor. And then we're going to come all the way to extended, almost to the floor. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and release down. Breathe. Let's take the knees into the chest here and grab onto those feet for a happy baby. Now, I like to grab onto the inside of my arches, but you can also grab the outside of your feet too if that's more comfortable. You can also grab your ankles and just rock back and forth, side to side. That feels good on the spine. Bring those knees in and now twist. Nice supine spinal twist. Breathe. Come take your legs down as comfortable as for you. And come on up. Legs follow each other to the other side. One side may feel different than the other, and that's perfectly normal and okay. And inhale, bring both knees up. Give yourself a big hug. And let's do a little rock and roll on the spine. So you're going to rock up and back. Do this about 3 times. This is great to loosen up the spine. One more time before you move on for the rest of your day. And come on back up to the easy seated position where we started. Remembering our mantra of nourishment. Now bring your hands up into prayer pose in front of your heart and in front of your third eye. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.